Trump
Oh, God.
has released his medical records as only Donald Trump can. He did it on a reality show, the Fabulous Dr. Oz show. And here's a little of what went down. Take a look.
If elected at age 70, you will be the oldest person to ever enter the Oval Office. Why do you think you have the stamina for the job?
Yeah, just about the same age as Ronald Reagan, and Hillary's a year behind me. I would say just based on my life. I mean, I've had, I actually, and I don't know if this makes sense, I feel as good today as I did when I was 30.
Well, good for him.
He was given a clean bill of health, you know, but apparently he could stand to lose a few pounds, but who can't? You can't lose it. But did anything about the results kind of surprise anybody? Do you care, or is this what people are concerned about?
Well, here's a BMI that's bordering on obese. Here's.
So am I.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just telling you.
It's the only thing we have in common, but that's it.
Yeah, but, you know, he's called women fat pigs. This is like the pot belly calling the kettle, you know what I'm saying? He attacked Rosie O'Donnell. Remember when he called her fat? I mean, meanwhile, you know, you're fat too. Okay, Donald, we're all fat.
And that show actually airs later today, so they're going to release, but I think the funniest part is that he like pulled him out of his pocket.
Yeah.
Like, it's a little, maybe.
Well, it's a reality show meets another reality show. It's not American politics the way I remember it, the way I grew up.
I think this is sidestepping the tax, you know, the tax issue.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like he slides out and he's like, well, I've got some stuff to work with, but you know, you can look at my health. Here you go. Like, it's just a little bait and switch, you know.
I think with the health stuff, though, all we can do is, if they're transparent and they're honest on both sides, and they say this is what's happening, and you know they're clear, and a doctor comes out and says they're good to go, I think we got to just take it at that. I mean, what are we going to do? Sit here and analyze whether he needs to lose? Now I got to worry about whether Donald needs to lose 30 pounds. I mean, it's kind of crazy for us to, unless there's a legitimate concern that arises on either side that says this threatens their ability to be president of the United States. Other than that,
well, everybody seems to have gotten a clean bill of health. She's released now for me too much information. I don't want to know about her colon. I don't care.
Right.
But now we know, you know, pictures of the colon waving. It's too much. But
she has a very low blood pressure. She has 100/70, which is very good.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
seriously.
I mean, but
I enjoy
reading
every day. I enjoyed
Dr. Sanjay Gupta had said from CNN that they didn't release full medical records by Hillary. He said this was very similar in some ways to what we got in July of last year from her.
We got a Xerox note from him. We should just be happy and move on.
I'm kind of with you. I'm like, Donald's medical records, it didn't do much for me either.
But what about the orange face, though? Isn't that an issue? I mean, that looks a little suspicious to me. It's not, but it's not healthy.
Spray tans, okay?
Well, I don't know. Sometimes I think it's natural to be the shade of a Cheeto when it comes to him.
Maybe he eats a lot of carrots.
That could be a lot of carrots.
Your facial expressions. Somebody needs to make a montage of this. Whenever she talks about Donald Trump, it's amazing. But I think, Sarah, you made the key point, which is that when it comes to health issues, I think most of America feels like that. But I think both candidates sidestep when it comes to the real transparency issues that we want to see. I want to see Donald Trump's tax returns.
Why do you think he doesn't show them?
I wanted to see Hillary's Wall Street speeches released. I wanted to see those emails that she deleted.
Let me ask you about this. Yeah. So do you think, now maybe I'm crazy, but do you think that she actually said in one of her speeches, you know, if you elect me, I'm really going to take care of you guys. I'm going to make sure. No, listen, a Wall Street speech is not a tax return. A Wall Street speech, to me, Donald's made those speeches. They've all done it. They've all pandered and gotten in the booty of all of the banks. They're all in there. What I want to know, they've all done
but they're not all claiming not to be that. And if she's out there claiming to be an advocate for regular people and saying, I'm not tied to Wall Street, I'm not fighting for the big guy, let's see what you said. And if she has nothing to hide, let's see it.
But you're saying this every time. You know, you're saying every time. It's like, she's probably sick something's wrong. She shows you she's not sick. So I want to know about Benghazi. She shows you Benghazi 11 hours. Who needed to see all of that for that long? And then the emails, the only person who hasn't been hacked is her.
She deleted 30,000 emails.
She's never been. If there's a hacker out there who has them that we don't know that you hacked her, let us know. Because I can't handle the emails.
One thing that's different. Sorry. The Wall Street speeches, I feel like, I agree with her. If everyone had to release them, then she could release them. Because otherwise, I just think she's always scrutinized for things that maybe don't matter. I do think the emails are a little more interesting. But I'll take it once, you know, be a little more. But the Wall Street speeches, I think, are just one of those many examples where it's like, we want to see this and we want to see this, but no one else wants to do that.
Julian Assange says there's an October surprise. He says there's an October surprise. You know, he's the and then we'll give him a nice celebration. Maybe he'll be on Dancing with the Stars too.
But you know, the thing about the Wall Street speeches, though, it's like Wall Street wants to hear the point of view on the other side, too. So maybe that's what she was doing in those
But you
speeches.
had this is
telling them, this is the Democratic position, this is my position on Wall Street. I mean, that's possible.
Not a right-wing request. You had Bernie Sanders coming out and saying, show us your Wall Street.
But Bernie didn't make everyone else made those
big money and big donors.
Everybody is. You're in politics, baby. Even that nice man that was here. Everybody's
But everybody's not claiming to be an advect for the little guy. And
Bernie,
she is.
are you kidding me? They all say they're for the little guy, and then they tax you within an inch of your life.
You can't demand trans. That's true.
Whether it's a Democratic candidate or a Republican. Can I ask a dumb question? Isn't it called the Democratic Party?
Yeah, they say Democrat.
Okay, I thought it was me because I thought.
Well, they don't want to use it to describe a Democratic as an adjective. They don't want to describe it. That's why they say Democrat.
Oh,
because it's like saying, open-minded and all the other things.
Yeah, I've been trying to ask this question. We'll be right back with more hot topics. I'm trying to ask this question.
Still ahead, Ariana Grande slams Ryan Seacrest for getting too personal. But is she the one guilty of TMI? So, when you're at a party...
I hate small talk so much.
Welcome back. The U.S. Congress is made up of 80% men, and a New Jersey high school teacher is going viral for teaching his male students what it might kind of feel like for women. He organized a student focus group that was 80% female and had them vote on some school policies, baby. Take a look.
All girls get a 21% discount on all school-related items. Those in favor, please raise your hands. Okay. Those against? Boys must give girls a 2-minute head start between class periods. Please raise your hands. Girls. All right. Those against?
I feel like women in Congress feel how I felt. Kind of unfair because it was only like 6 of us guys against 20-something girls, so I felt kind of unmatched.
So you think this will help folks realize what different folks are up against, whether you be women or it's people of color or even lonely white men?
Yeah.
I mean, if
Brian
walking
raised his hand.
Because they used to call it walk a mile in somebody's shoes, right?
This is so good. It really puts it in perspective when you can visually see this of what's happening. And I love there was another article that talked about women in the White House, and they use amplification. And it's adopting a strategy that when women make a key point, other women will repeat it and give credit to the person who said it, reinforcing it so no one else can take credit for it. And it's such a wonderful thing to do. Something I've also learned to do in my business and within my other jobs to really build up women. Because a lot of times I think when we are working and in our different circumstances, we don't always know what's going on. Sometimes it's so subtle that we don't realize it.
He's a great teacher. As someone who's a former teacher, when I watched him, I thought, what a great way to get young people to understand what's happening. Because oftentimes young people read about politics or it doesn't register. But when it impacts your own life and you're sitting there and suddenly you're saying, oh, wow, on a larger scale, this is what it looks like. I thought that was great for him. And it was an opportunity also just to remind women everywhere, if you want to see more women representing you, you have to advocate for them. It's our job to not only vote for those women, but to support them. When you have these grassroots women around the country who are running and aren't getting the media attention, talk about it. Talk to your friends about it. Tweet about it. Do what you can, because if every one person out there does that, guess what? Then that woman becomes a household name, and she has an opportunity to be in there and effectuate change.
That teacher had some other exercises that were amazing. This guy he gets more impressive the more you read. On the first day of school, he brings awkward photos of himself, then encourages the students to bring awkward photos. He talks about the girls that rejected him and how he taped his ears down when he was 8 years old, and then they all share, because he says we may not ever be able to ban bullying, but we can empower kids to deal with it. This guy is so impressive.
I would like to invite him on our show. Would you come in and hang out with us? Because we think you're a really great teacher, and maybe we can help other teachers if they can hear what you've been able to do. So come on and hang out with us. And suddenly, we've spoken so much, we have to take a break.
Really?
Yeah. Yesterday we were talking about online privacy and internet spying, and now FBI Director James Comey reveals something that's disturbing for a lot of people. He says, always cover the webcams on your devices, saying it's common sense. You lock your car, you lock your house. Why not cover the camera to keep your privacy safe? Now, I've always done it because I'm paranoid, okay? I just feel like, and I watch a lot of sci-fi movies, right? So, to me, someone can look in. But I don't think most people think about the fact that the cameras that now are on your computer can be hacked and people can be watching.
This is like a whole new thing to me, and as soon as I find it, I'm going to cover it because I don't know where it is.
It's right at the top of your computer. It's a little
Is it in the
thing.
middle or on the side?
It's right on this. It's right in
And
the
can
center.
someone see me walking around in my brassiere?
Like this. This is a webcam. That's a webcam.
Camera. I don't know how I missed the memo on this. I always thought that no one could see in unless I had it on. I didn't know just
I didn't know that
sitting
either.
there if I wasn't on my computer, someone could hack it. This is freaking me out.
I know. You can shut down a
You
laptop.
can
Just do that.
I put a little piece of masking tape. But you know, you kind of have to take it for what it is because the FBI director is telling you to come. So what does that tell you?
Yeah.
Dangerous.
Even Mark Zuckerberg covers his.
Yes.
Well, I can see why he would do it. But why me? That's no reason. What are they going to find? What do they do?
What do you guys do at home?
Although, you know, I was, somebody used my American Express card overnight, and they caught it.
Yes.
Just saying. You have to be
American
very
Express
cautious.
is great.
They're
They are.
very
They're
good.
fraudsters. They call me more than my
In the
mom.
middle of the night, someone used it online. How did they get it? That's my...
Because you think that you haven't put it out there, but you have. And people don't realize, you know, all that information goes into the cloud. And you know my question, what the hell is the cloud?
I know.
You know, what is it? Because it's got everything. Everything is in the cloud, but is that a good thing?
And then I think about having a phone conversation while you're sitting in front of your computer. Now everyone's overheard. You used to call it, you know, you say you're paranoid. I call it smart. But with what we know about the NSA, with what Snowden revealed in terms of privacy is dead. It's really dead.
But
so
how do you
guys are making me paranoid.
How do you prevent someone? I can get this part. I can put a thing over the camera as soon as I find it. But how do you prevent someone from finding out your credit card number?
Don't put it online. Don't buy
wait,
stuff.
Be careful where you
But
Some sites aren't secure.
Yes.
You have to make sure there's that little S in front of it or after the URL to know that it's a secure website.
Read when it says this is not a secure site.
Yes.
Well, I've
They're
never
not
done anything
kidding.
where it wasn't secure.
The other thing I thought
Amazon
about
is secure, right?
Amazon is secure.
That's all I use.
Unless it's a fake Amazon
And don't
site.
click from an email that's sent to you. You got to go directly to Amazon.
Yeah.
Like
Because
when
they
they're
won't, you know, I get every day, I get 5 or 6 fake, you know, and then they write it, they say, you know, your account misspelled is, you owe money.
Yeah.
You have other issues, though, because everything has been moved. All of you, I mean, look at all of these Olympic kids. All of their information, you know, that people have hacked them. All of our medical information, all of our personal information has now been taken away from a paper thing. You know, I liked when people had to open the drawer and go and look for my name. I liked it. I liked that the things were this high because if somebody broke in, you knew.
Yeah.
And millions of people didn't get hit at one time. Yeah. You know, I just think we have become so lax in what we put out there. We just answer questions, give information without thinking, do I really want to do this? And when you're done with your computer, you know, face it away if you don't want to turn it off.
Yeah.
Face it the other, so that if somebody does hack it, they got a good looking wall to look at.
My other concern are your security cameras, because you know they have drop cams that are
The
really
same
easy.
thing
So
with
you
baby
pull it up
monitors.
on your app. I even have a doorbell where I can see who's at my front door just by the app. But the cameras I have all go through my app. So what about when my kids are home or I'm home, we're walking around naked, whatever? Like they could, well, not to, you know, sorry.
Hackers everywhere are checking.
That's not what you mean. That's not what you mean.
But you know, when you're home alone or you're in the
Home
middle
alone,
of the
yes,
night
okay.
and you go to get the drink of water.
Yes.
I mean, because I always wear pajamas and this is going nowhere. I'm stopping. Never mind.
And on that note, Me and the naked girl will be right back. So welcome back. Things got a little tense between Ariana Grande and Ryan Seacrest on his radio show over a picture she posted on Instagram with rapper Mac Miller. Seacrest assumed this was her confirming that Mac and she were dating, but Grande had a big issue with this. Check out the clip.
If you post something, like even in my life, if I post something,
if
it
I
becomes
post something, then that's what I'm willing to share at the moment.
Right, but it becomes
that doesn't mean then you, Ryan Seacrest, with millions of listeners, are entitled to more information.
It doesn't?
No.
Oh.
But then, oh my God. But then a few hours later, she confirmed that they were a couple. But should she?
Do it. Don't.
Like, I didn't get it, but okay. Should she be mad about how people interpret what she puts out on social media?
Look at the picture.
The picture's aggressive. That's like a wrestling move of some form.
Yes.
I mean, if you put something out like
There's
this, any
somebody
of
there.
us
Okay, here's how old I am. I never saw that there was more. I thought it was her and her pants were striped. I had no idea.
What is that?
There's a guy.
He's on top of her.
He's on top of her.
I don't see
have to
his
say,
head. Where's his head?
Head's buried in her
Where is
chest,
his
it looks
head?
like.
That's a good question.
It's in her chest.
I have jokingly wrestled around with friends in a way that picture could be released and we think a lot of things. But I do think, I mean, we've all done that move at home, you guys. But
But they have other pictures that she posted.
yeah, there were other pictures of more like intimate. But I think when you put it out there and you have a public account and you're a celebrity, she doesn't have to answer the question. But I think it was a fair question because,
absolutely,
you know, like
he has the right to ask the question.
And
he can't necessarily assume or say something about it that isn't factual yet, but she's a celebrity. She was on his radio show. She is there to answer questions.
But she is having a thing with him now.
I don't know.
So she was just being disingenuous there.
But I actually have a question for Joy, though, because I also saw something online that I kind of raised some questions.
What?
I think we have it.
Oh, yeah.
Are you guys an item?
Oh,
Are you dating?
You know something?
Yeah.
I saw that picture somewhere, and someone said, here's a picture of Joy with her husband, Steve. Okay? And it's like, hello, that's Regis. He's been on the air for 150 years. They don't know who he is yet? Steve has never even shown his face on TV.
So there's not something.
So are you really married to a Steve?
I go for guys who are younger than me, not older. I love Regis, but I like a young guy.
Says the cougar.
My husband is 7 years younger than me.
Mine's 5.
So I like it.
Yours is 21 years younger than you were?
No,
You win!
No, you're old man.
I'm not married, but I'm dating someone 13 years younger.
Yeah.
13.
Yeah.
See that?
Is Val older than you?
2 years older than me.
Okay, 2 years.
I told you, I did the young guy thing.
Yeah, I
But
like
he
it.
made a mistake. He made a terrible, terrible mistake.
No, it wasn't. I remember.
He said,
He wanted to go to camp.
No, Paul McCartney.
no. He said, we were talking about, we were talking about the Beatles.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, you mean Paul McCartney had a band before Wings?
Before
and I was
Wings.
like, you gotta go.
Yeah, that's what happened.
You gotta go.
I knew that.
Yeah.
That one's good.
It was, and it stuns me. I mean, I was like, I didn't realize there was such a gap until then. And then I was like, yeah, no.
This isn't going to work out.
I gotta put you back in the sandbox. I can't mess with you anymore. Oh, my dear. Well, no, but there is. If they're younger, then they don't know.
Well,
they don't know.
things
So you
happened
kinda-
before we were born. We know about them.
Well, only because now I don't know if that's the case with a lot of the younger generation now. I think that we were made aware of so many things because people talked about them. We only had 4 networks, so what was going on in the world we saw and we could evaluate it. But you have 100,000 networks.
This idea of put your favorite shows, your favorite channels on your cable thing is very disturbing to me because all I do is watch those. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, you can kind of hone in and specialize.
Yeah, so you specialize and then you don't know what it is. But I don't even know who these people, who's the guy on top of her? What's his name? Ariana Grande.
It's a rapper, Mac Miller.
I know her, but I don't know him.
Yeah.
I should know that, right?
You should know the face, but you can't see it.
I can't see it. Hello, where is the face?
I can't even make the joke. We'll be right back.
Next, Candace is having a throwback Thursday with the legendary Beach Boys when they perform live on The View.
Co-founder of the Beach Boys. Hi, performed in Central Park, and I got to be there, and I got back up on that stage and sang with you.
On Barbara Ann. It was like deja vu. That was such a fun night. Fun night.
It was so great. You know what was amazing to me is I looked out into that crowd, and what I love about your music so much is that it transcends all generations. There was teenagers there were 80-year-olds there, and everyone, it didn't matter race, culture, your background, everyone just loves the music because it's positive and good, and we love you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Just to the point, last year you played 175 concerts.
Yeah, well,
pretty good.
actually 172, but you know.
Who's counting? So what do you think is the reason that you've been so popular all these years? What is
love. We got together for the love of music. No, just the love of creating the harmonies together, and that transcends boundaries, borders, race, gender, anything.
Yeah, it's kind of like you want to dance to it, and you want to get up and move to it.
No, it's a family tradition became a profession, which is
but not only the music, but you also just released a memoir, I understand, about your life as a beach boy.
That's true.
So why now? What'd you write? What is it? Tell us.
You know, I've never written anything. There've been a lot of things written about the Beach Boys, but I've never written anything.
Why are they laughing?
But at any rate, I just wanted to do it for my children, friends, fans.
Is it a tell-all, Mike? Did you say stuff?
Told enough.
Enough to sell that book.
Told enough.
Well, to celebrate the 50th anniversary of your iconic song, Good Vibrations, you're also releasing the vinyl record on October 7th. That's exciting.
An EP, and there's some things in it that haven't been heard before, just different versions and stuff, which is kind of interesting.
It's very interesting. Well, we can't wait to hear you sing. So, I think did you have a story, though, about how you came up with the lyrics for the song?
Yeah, Good Vibrations. This song that we're going to do in a minute, I was driving to the studio. I had procrastinated and hadn't written the words to the verse of the song. I'd come up with the chorus. I'm picking up good vibrations, but I would neglected to write the verse. So I dictated it to my then wife, Suzanne. I said, take this down. I love the colorful clothes she wears. And I was thinking about a girl that's all into peace and love back in the 60s. You know, peace, love, flower power, all that.
What were you high on, Mike? Tell the truth.
Now, wait a minute. I was driving and I was completely sober.
Is that in the book? Yeah.
Well, anyway, that was it. I wrote it, got to the studio, and recorded it just an hour later.
And we love it.
Let's hear it. Let's sing it.
Thank you.
Which has numbered tickets that represent today's audience. Okay, let's make this magic go.
You're making me do all the hard things.
I know.
Okay, here we go.
162! What's your name? What's your name and where are you from? And where are you from?
St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay. Yay! You know who you're taking?
I'm taking my love.
Good answer while your love is there. We have great news. You won a 5-night, 6-day trip for 2 to the Dolce Silverado Resort and Spa in Napa Valley, California. And we're giving away 2 more trips tomorrow. Tune in to see which audience member gets one, and viewers at home need to visit our website by midnight Eastern tonight to see how to enter for a chance to win tomorrow's vacay.
That's kind of great.
Yeah. Have you been to Napa Valley?
No, I have not.
You've never been to Napa Valley?
That's wine country.
Oh, it's really great.
Beautiful.
Yes.
You'll be very happy.
Thank you.
Very happy. Just don't get in the car and drive. But listen, the hot topics just keep on going after the view on Facebook Live. So we want you to first know that we're thrilled that you came to see us today. We want you to have a great day and take a little time to enjoy whatever view you happen upon.